do it.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome
Week
back.
15, All-Star game.
Happy All-Star break.
Who you guys got? Who are you picking?
Oh, NL, for sure.
NL.
And I'm going with the Frazier MVP, just because
Wow.
hometown, yeah.
I'm going to say 3-2 win.
Little League World Series hero. Tom's River, New Jersey.
Arenado homer.
Yeah, we're both going in the same position. Okay, let's talk about last week, because I had a lot of fun last week with my game. I won 10-1. It was a good week for me. With not all that great of stats either, but
yeah, that's what I wrote down. That's exactly what I wrote down. That you won, but
if you were going rotisserie, it probably would have been the bottom half. But 12 home runs, which was actually one half of my run production. I do have a person I'm putting on the trading block. Carlos Gomez had 2 home runs and 10 RBIs last week. If you want to trade me a player who has 1 year left on your keeper list for him,
he has another year after this.
No, it's a rental player for him.
Gotcha.
You could use him. I need a 1 year keeper player.
Trade offers open.
Also, congratulations, Teresa, first player to 100 losses.
Ooh, I didn't see that stat. Good for you, Teresa.
Yeah.
Welcome back from your honeymoon with 100 losses.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to talk about Derek and Brandon?
Yeah. 6'5". Derek, you had 11 saves. Brandon is also approaching that 100 loss mark because he has 97 now.
13 homers and 11 saves for Derek.
Mm-hmm. Well balanced.
That's pretty amazing.
I was more focused on the 97 losses.
And I mean, I was thinking you only win 6-5 with those 2 numbers.
Yeah, they both had pretty good weeks, but I'm glad because...
Sorry, Brandon.
I don't want you to catch me for the 6th spot, so...
Dustin and Marcus. Dustin, the big 7-4 win and a ridiculous week.
Offensively, 46 runs.
Ridiculous.
13 home runs, 39 RBIs. Thank Mike Trout a lot for that. 5 home runs and 8 runs. I felt bad.
Did you see the whip tie?
I did.
That could have really done it for you, Marcus.
Yeah.
An extra point. I mean,
Marcus, we need to talk though. I don't know if you know this about our league, but you can't win if you don't get any wins in one of the 2 categories of hitting and pitching. You went 0 for 6 hitting. Can't win that way. I promise you won't win that way. Mathematically, you just can't.
That's a tough way to go.
Unless you tie a bunch.
So you're saying he should trade for hitting, or is he more shooting for the bottom half of the standings now, or what?
I don't know, Marcus. Why don't you tell us? Watch the vlogcast and then comment on it.
David and Matt, it was just a boring matchup, to be honest. Boring. There's nothing special about either one.
Although David did squeak by in 3 categories, and Matt got squeaked by in 1. But he won stolen bases by 1, OBP by 0.08, and runs by 3. But David, bravo. 6-4.
Now, the matchup of the week.
That had me rolling, laughing in Charlotte, North Carolina on a Sunday night. I literally LOL'd. Laughed out loud.
Dudley.
Tell him why.
Dudley. I can't even... So, I was up 7-4 at the end of the night. Sunday night, week's over. I won 7-4 after a mad comeback because of a complete and total collapse by Trevor Rosenthal. Complete and total collapse.
Pretty bad.
Won me the week 7-4. I wake up.
Then what happened?
Somehow I only won 6-5.
I also laughed when that actually was like Monday morning earlier than that showed up. But yeah, you were actually about to lose 6-5 if you remember correctly.
I was.
Until that's when I was laughing out loud. Dudley, you cannot defend your pitching when someone with a 4.12 ERA beats you. Can't defend your pitching. I'm sorry. I wrote down that I was going to try and make you feel better with your 11 saves and your 9.95 K per 9, your 6 quality starts, but you let someone beat you with a 4.12 ERA, dude. That's just not good. You should thank me, though, for McCutcheon's numbers, by the way.
I am very pleased with those. You should thank me for Arrieta's numbers.
Yeah.
That worked out well for
Miller's,
both parties involved.
Arrieta, jeez, he's a beast. I got him for 2 more years.
Well, anyways, moving on. This week... Me and Matt go for the long... Remember, this is a long week, guys. We have until next Sunday.
Pays.
I've got Matt in the matchup. Who you got?
You picking Matt to beat you?
No. I mean,
yeah. You're going to win 8-4.
8-4?
You'll have less ties and longer weeks.
I'll take that.
Less chance for
David and Derek.
So this one was tough for me. And I like David's consistency. He wins about 6 or 7 each week. It's kind of how he stays in his 5th spot. But I think Derek's going to win 7-4.
I put a 6-6 tie right after you said that ties aren't going to happen. I'm going 6-6 tie on this one.
Ties and me don't get along.
Dudley over Marcus. Nothing remarkable here.
Yeah, Marcus, because you lost 7-4 the last two, I actually think you're going to lose worse, but I thought it'd be funny to say you're going to lose 7-4 for the third straight week.
Now here's an interesting one. You and Dustin, you've been playing out of your mind lately.
I picked myself to get my ass kicked simply because Dustin never has a bad week, and I have bad weeks, and I have bad days.
About a week and a half, though.
Yeah, so I think it's just going to make it worse. I just have me losing by a lot. I'm not going to say it.
I'm going with a 6-6 tie here,
I
too.
would love a 6-6 tie. You want to just settle for that right now? 6-6 tie?
It's out the table for you, Dustin.
I'll even settle for a 7-5 loss. If you want to settle for that.
Brandon and Teresa.
9-2 Brandon.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Brandon didn't have a bad
I've got
week,
Brandon with the win, too.
Mm-hmm.
Some outstanding trends to talk about. Teresa moving down to 10th.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty much stuck there.
I said 100% chance last week.
Yeah, that sucks for you.
I also said you were going to win 6-5 last week, and you did.
I made a bad prediction. I said Brandon was going to move up to 6. I don't think that's happening anymore. You're playing too well.
That guy in 6 is pretty mediocre.
Yeah, it looks like you and David are going to stay up there.
Yeah.
Dudley dropped down to 4th.
He did, partially due to his magnificent pitching staff.
And your team just steamrolling lately.
Hey,
is that a function of playing terrible teams, or is it your team's been doing well, or what is that?
I mean, one of the weeks I beat Derek, but the other two is just because one was on a honeymoon and one is never wins a hitting category. So, yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna continue.
Some other trends I just saw, some stat leaders. Dustin has gone 13-1 in steals. It's pretty incredible. Derek 11-2-1 in RBIs, but on the flip side, 2-10-2 in steals.
So we
know we're going for power.
Yeah.
I've gone 9-1-4 in wins and 12-2 in ERA.
But that's kind of not going to happen as much anymore. Giveaway.
Let's hope it does. And Matt 1-13 in ERA.
And the one that he won was against me. FY, he beat me in ERA that week. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And then back to Dudley and my pitching. Stats were close. I'll give you that. But you beat me in wins, which is just a stupid fluke stat. I don't care about that.
Lots of pitchers.
Saves, obviously that's not what I'm going for. You are. Good for you. You got me in Ks per 9. Pretty close. Crushing you in ERA. Got you in whip. And got you by 8 in quality starts. So
I didn't really know.
I don't know what that says. What do you think about Dudley's pitching?
You lost to a 4.12 ERA, so I don't like your pitching.
We'll move on to MLB now. Some second half predictions and season long predictions. So we're at the halfway point with the All-Star game here.
Mm-hmm.
Time to make some corrections to our earlier.
There are quite
picks.
a few corrections, especially my Seattle Mariners World Series pick.
Who you got for MVPs?
Well, in the NL I have Harper, in the AL I have Trout. Because Miggy got hurt, otherwise I'd be a lot closer.
You know, I tried not to pick Trout. I went through and I looked up who else, but it's Trout.
There's nobody.
Pujols
maybe?
is close. Pujols is gaining, but it's Trout. And Bryce Goldschmidt is challenging.
But
can he catch him? Because of the records of the teams, it's not going to happen.
No.
If Goldie was on a better team, maybe. But, Cy Youngs. We'll start with the AL.
Sale.
I went with Sonny Gray originally.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to happen because the team's so bad.
Not enough wins.
Sale is also the good choice, but his team's bad. I'm thinking maybe Dallas Keuchel.
He's gonna be the reason why the AL loses today.
If they can get back up in the standings and stay in the playoff race. If not, it's going to Sale. With apologies to David Price and Felix Hernandez, of course. Having good years.
Let's talk about NL.
NL. So this is the agonizing pick.
This is hard because you have a guy that's pitching like, a guy that had a 1.12 ERA in 1960.
This really sucks for Garrett Cole and Arrieta.
Yeah.
Any other year, they'd be right up in it, but this year, no chance.
Yeah.
So who you got?
I just don't think Greinke can keep up a ridiculous ERA that he has. I think I'm going Scherzer. Just because I don't like the Dodgers mostly.
That's a fair pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is they're going to be right there in wins, so that won't separate it. All of Scherzer's peripheral numbers are better than Greinke despite the ERA, so I'm going to go Scherzer, but it's a toss-up.
It's the best
I
ERA at
wouldn't-
the break in 30 years.
I wouldn't
though.
mind co-MVP, co-Cy Youngs there.
It's like
honestly,
tying.
if that stays up.
I don't like tying.
I wouldn't mind it. So who you got in the AL East?
That was hard. I have 2 teams going to the playoffs in the AL East, but I have the Yankees getting the slightest of edge just because they're on top right now.
I've got the Orioles there.
Mhm.
Toss-up.
Tit for tat.
Central.
Royals. I don't want it to be that way, but yes, I have the Royals.
Yep, that's gonna happen. West.
My least favorite team in the bigs, the Angels.
Yep.
Thanks, Mariners.
So who you got for the wild cards?
I never pick 2 teams in the same division for wild cards, but the rest of the AL sucks. So I think Houston's going to fall off. So I have the Jays and the O's. Actually, in the opposite order, O's and Jays. And then I have the O's beating the Jays in the playoff game.
That's where I went Rays and Yankees. And I've got the Rays over the Yankees in the wild card game because they can start Chris Archer and the Yankees cannot.
That's a good point.
So
Archer's pretty good.
that's where I went. But other than that, we have the same picks except Rays, Jays
You want to
switched.
talk about our ALCS picks before we go to the NL?
Sure, ALCS. So I've got the Rays versus the Royals and the Angels versus the O's.
Mm-hmm.
Got Angels over the O's, Royals over the Rays, and then Angels over the Royals.
So I'm just I have O's and Angels. And that, no, I can't have that because I put
The Angles.
I have the Angles in the World Series. Yeah. And then in the NL, I'll just talk about my 2 wildcard picks right now. I have the Pirates and the Cubs, again, both in the same division, but I don't see the Giants or Mets hanging on. And then I have the Pirates beating the Cubbies, but I'm happy for the Cubs. They got in the
I did the same. I looked and looked for a team that could beat the Cubs, and I know I said the Cubs weren't going to make the playoffs, but there's no one to catch them right now as it stands. So I went with the Cubs, and again, same argument. Pirates have Garrett Cole, Cubs don't. That's it for that one.
Game over.
NL East,
Nats.
easy one. Central, Cards.
Damn it.
In the West, Dodgers. I mean, these are
Yep.
so not brain busters here. So who you got in the playoffs then?
I'm just going to say my NLCS is the Cardinals and the Nats. And then seeing what happens with the Nats with health concerns, but I'm going to go with what's there now. I'm going to go with the Cardinals. So I have a Cardinals and Angels World Series, as much as I hate that because they're my 2 least favorite teams.
I've got the Nats over the Dodgers, and Nats winning the World Series over the Angels.
I have the Cardinals winning because they always win.
They do win,
But they cheat.
they
Maybe
do
that's
cheat.
why.
It's time for them to lose.
Or I have the Cardinals winning the World Series, and then we find out that they hacked the Angels database and they give it to the Angels.
That would be
Like
funny
a
too.
Reggie
I
Bush
would love that.
situation. Take away his award.
We've got one last mid-season kind of recap here.
Tanker has it. I'm just going to make jokes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mid-season MVPs and LVPs for all of your teams.
So listen closely.
We can start with Derek. MVPs, Keuchel and Cole.
Yeah, and Keuchel was a pick off of waivers,
That's
too.
hard to argue with, right?
Yeah.
Least valuable, Cano.
Yeah.
He's been terrible.
How is Keuchel on waivers? And
Isn't that
none
crazy?
of us
every
picked
year.
him up.
Every year, though, there's one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Kluber last
I
year,
got
just
Kluber
like that.
last
So
year, yeah.
next year, there's going to be another.
Ah,
Me, Bryce, and Arenado. I mean,
that's
Bryce
like-
is obviously up here, but Arenado, any other team that's the guy.
Probably should have started in the All-Star game, but that's another story.
Roosney, speaking of Bryce right there. Least valuable, Roosney, I expected so much of him. I was talking with David about how the preseason expectations, Roosney was up here and Yasmani Tomas was down here, and they just flipped completely. And it turns out Roosney's a waste of $72 million.
Now you're $72 million.
No,
though.
I think
just
goodness.
potentially
Yeah.
$100.
Potentially that.
Yeah,
Well, he's on the
that's it.
waivers if anyone
Yeah.
wants him. Feel free. Dudley, Goldschmidt, and Greinke.
Which were both keepers.
Possible MVP and Cy Young.
So you criticize yourself
not bad.
drafting, but both keepers.
Not
so.
a bad draft there. Least valuable, Beltray. That's on your
As
team.
much as I hate to say it, but the dude is 36 years old now.
You think he's done?
I think he needs to start being a designated hitter.
Any trade value?
I mean, if it was June, I would say yes, because give him time, but no. I don't think so.
Fair enough.
I'm also a pessimistic fan.
Before I think I said Dustin had Keuchel and Cole. I meant Derek.
You meant Derek.
Yeah. And now Dustin, MVPs Machado and Trout.
Both MVP candidates in the American League. So
Least valuable Puig. What is going on with him? You've got him for what, 7 more years after this?
Never hit 20 home runs. Very athletic.
I'd be questioning that one right now if I wanted him for 7 more years.
You can trade me for him for Carlos Gomez.
It's an interesting offer.
It's on
the table.
Yeah.
All right. Got our first offer. David, Chris Sale, Pujols.
Yeah,
Another Cy Young MVP candidate.
Pujols. 255.
Where did that come
26 home runs. I think he's taking steroids.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow. That's another bold prediction.
Calling you out, Albert Pujols. Which on the airplane today, as I was writing this stuff down, my wife laughed out loud because I said the word Pujols.
It's funny.
She's 25 years old.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Least valuable Bautista, first round pick that he traded.
Yeah, he traded for his pick.
Up to get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traded up. Do you know it does not take Bryce Harper 45 minutes to do his hair? They were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
There's a rumor going around.
Your team, MVPs. Who do you think your MVPs are before I say?
Altuve. That are still on my team now?
Hey, the whole season.
Okay.
What got you to where you are?
Consistency-wise, you could argue Miggy that I had for a long time. But I'm gonna go with guys that I have right now. So I'll say Lorenzo Cain.
Those are the 2 I went with. And your least valuable?
Well, that's still on my roster right now, Matt Kemp. For sure, he's in like 240. He's got like 7 home runs.
Apologies to the Padres for that signing.
They were 32 and
Lord.
33 when they fired Bud Black, and they're like 14 under since.
They're bad.
Not good. You called that.
Yeah. Marcus, MVPs, Giancarlo and Trevor Bauer. I admittedly thought Bauer was going to be terrible. And
Yeah, me too.
He's having a hell of a
And
year.
then Giancarlo got hurt.
Yeah.
And your least valuable players?
Longo and Lucroy. It's hard to separate the two. They're both just terrible.
Maybe, Marcus, you're just not very good at fantasy baseball.
I wanted to draft Longo this year real bad. Thank God for Marcus. Good job stealing him.
Are you tanking, Marcus?
Thank you.
You tanking for picks?
Matt has Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
And Chris Bryant. Pretty good players.
Not bad, either of them.
Least valuable.
I've heard of both of them.
I feel bad with the injury, but Soler has not lived up to what everybody thought he was going to, what I thought he was going to. He's not going to be the 20 home run guy this year. That sucks.
Does anybody listen to Harold Reynolds anymore?
I do. I like him.
It just annoys me.
Brandon, Votto, and Jock Peterson. Pretty good players.
Yeah.
Least valuable, Ian Desmond, you are terrible. And Chris Carter, you are worse than terrible.
Why don't they just drop
Is he still on your roster?
Yes.
Don't do that, Brandon. Yeah. And lastly, Teresa with Nelly and Donaldson.
Although I would say the least valuable player on her team is her husband because she's been gone for 2 weeks on a honeymoon and she got married. She's just been missing weeks and like her priorities aren't straight. And I've never met you. You seem like a very nice young man.
Yeah,
but you are not doing good things for her fantasy baseball life.
Least valuable, other than that, I've got Napoli and Ryan Zimmerman.
Those are both very least valuable players. Napoli does not like to pick up his own bat.
So anyways, if you guys have those players, drop them. I already dropped mine. Your turn. No one's going to pick them up. Don't worry.
It's fine. I still have faith in Matt Kemp.
Feel free to have faith in him all day.
Maybe that's why I'm in
drop him. I'm not touching him.
Place. Carlos Gomez trade. Do it.
Lastly, just interesting debate, I guess. They're doing this franchise 4. They're about to unveil the 4 best players from each franchise. The interesting one is the Yankees now. Who you got for the franchise 4? There's obviously Babe, Gehrig, and DiMaggio. You got to include those.
Easily top 3.
Then you've got a choice of Yogi, Jeter, Rivera, Mickey Mantle. Now, I've seen the analysts debate it, and they all come up with a different answer.
I go Mantle.
I'm going Mantle as well. Jeter's got like 12 rings and 17 Cy Youngs and a couple Closer of the Year awards, I think, too.
Jeter has dated a lot of pretty
Minka
women
Kelly,
as well.
Mariah Carey.
Although,
Does that factor in?
For me, no. But, if I'd like to be him. Be nice.
Fair enough.
Mantle had
So,
pretty good days.
Yeah,
in his
Mantle
own
sure
right.
did. Can't hit on that. So who you got?
I don't think Yogi Berra probably did, but that's all.
Anyways, I think that's an interesting debate.
Yeah.
So we've run long today because of the All-Star game. Celebrating.
I'd like to give a preemptive congratulations to Brandon. I think that you are going to be the next to lose 100 games.
Congrats,
Just
Brandon.
broke my pin.
Did we get anyone to 100 wins yet? Let me.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dustin's up there. I've got 95.
Of course. The guy that I have to play for the longest week of the
All right,
year.
so I need 5 and Derek
Oh, by the
needs
way,
13.
favorite All-Star game moment. I was thinking about this. That's my favorite. When Chan-Ho Park threw a BP fastball to Cal Ripken Jr. in Seattle.
That was gonna be mine too.
Yep.
Wow. Well.
Or the Bud Selig waving his hands in there. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Call it a tie. Which
Wave it
ruined the
off.
All-Star game. Just made it. Yeah.
Anyways, 3-2 National League tonight.
I think it's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be a blowout. I think Keuchel's gonna blow up. And if you looked at the discrepancy in the lineups between National and American League, I'm going like 9-2.
Wow.
It's gonna be
That's a lot of
terrible
runs.
blowout, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of it because the Rangers aren't making the World Series this year. So this game does not matter no matter what they tell you.
Fair enough.
I'm on a little bit of a roll.
All right. Well, see
Been
you guys
flying
next
all day.
week.
Bye, guys.
Good luck to me and not you.
Happy you'll be happy.
See you later.
Must be all the time.